Okay, well, hopefully this works out well. Okay. Actually, is my thumbnail right? I don't know which thumbnail is up right now, so we'll just change it and go with that. Hey, Fat Pack, DJ Kai, NDG, Breeze, and Steven. Okay, so we haven't done this in a while. I don't know how well it's gonna go, but let's try it out and see what happens, huh? Hi, Brian and Norito. Alright, so we'll bring over this. Oh, whoops. The wrong thing is up right now. Okay. So I don't need to, you don't need to see this. So we're gonna start with this guy. Hi, Nathan and Subash. Alright, we're gonna start with this guy. So this is I was did dad. Where did my text go? Here we go. So we'll start with this. I don't want to put scores on because I don't entirely know how people are gonna do relative to the average player again. So we're gonna try without scores unless after seeing all these teams we have kind of a better idea of what is average and what is not. For now, we'll just go with critiquing and advice. Hey, Abdel. So we'll bring it to that for now. We'll see how we go. All right. So this is, Nathan. Usually they do a flurry before either a big update or during a holiday. I wouldn't say there's like a rhyme or reason to it, but holidays or updates are usually it. Hi, Dragoneye, Lamb, and Alexis. So the only problem with this is that you've got 10 stars. So based on what this is, you're better off using Dro than Shood, just because at least Dro comes with a 50% silence. So I would say this team is like average. So if I wanted to, let's say if I was to be arbitrary, I would give this like a 6 maybe. But until I have like a more standard system, I'd prefer not to do anything with that. Like this Scold is useless, the Shoot is useless. The rest of the team is not bad. It's not bad. It's not solid, but it's not bad. It's really sad to see that Aegina fell off so much, honestly. So, I guess... No, I know, we all have to go from 10 to 14, but it's like... Why did he choose Shoot? Did he choose Shoot only because the slight aura bonus? Because that's a terrible idea. Eduardo, I was saying swap Dro for Shoot. And obviously your next step is to take Scold to T4. If you started working on Scold, I hope you have copies. That would be obviously the next bet. If you don't have any more Scold at all, Isn't control resistance on one line? Let me see. It is in English, but perhaps not in other languages. Moonstones? Yes. Skuld is absolutely worth it to buy in Moonstones. In your case, yeah, you probably should. Something that you may want to consider is for your 6th hero, you could use Verthandi. Verthandi is easy to get, easy to make, and would be a solid addition to this team. Should we score? I don't really want to score. I don't really think we should be scoring right now. Okay. So we'll move on. Lorelei from Diamond Key, not bad. I don't have any diamond keys. Alright, so we'll go on with that. So next is going to be Thought Destroyer. Oops. Score just for fun? Okay, well if we acknowledge that score is not like a science at this point, because again, there is no solid thing. There's no solid basis. Bullet points next to people's names? What do you mean bullet points? Where do you put gift codes? Go to the event screen and then go to special. It's in there now. Brian's, that's not how team critiques work. You got to do it on Discord. Hi, Slick. Nathan, I don't have enough room on the screen for that. So we'll just... Not a matter of too much time. It's just I don't have enough screen space. If I do 30 people, I cannot put 30 people's advice. Alright. So this guy... Hey, Minato. Honestly, give him a 6.5. We'll just say 6.5. It's not terrible. Alright, Thought Destroyer. 2-star shards on Freya and Phoenix. Oh, man. Six of 9 Skuld. 7 of 9 Kurt and Lore. I don't think this Phoenix wants energy. I'm not sure that the Phoenix wants energy. If you give it to Detlef... Well, if you give it to Detlef, he won't get the true damage from Verthandi. If you give it to Khalil, it's wasted. If you give it to Freya, it's wasted. So you're basically wasting it on 4 out of 6 options here. So energy on Phoenix is not a good idea. As far as hero preference, definitely Skuld first. Definitely Skuld first. Man, people's screenshots are not quite the same size. We'll see how this goes. I'll fix this depending on what the next person is. As far as a score... Six? I guess a 6? I mean... I don't know how good this does. I feel like Khalil doesn't give enough to this team. Your burst is not big enough. 5 seems more right. I don't feel like Khalil gives enough to Freya because Freya is so random. She may not do anything the first time she fires. So you buffed up her attack like an extra 30% of nothing is still nothing. So yeah, I can see giving it a 5. It's not even a gimmick. Like, it's not even a gimmick that works. That's the problem. But Detlef needs to fire after Verthandi buffs him. You want to put as much bonus damage on Detlef as possible, meaning he needs Phoenix's bonus, he needs Verthandi's bonus, and he needs Khalil's bonus. And you would rather have Khalil die on turn 2 to maximize that, and having 2 Khalils is like Khalil definitely is coming back. For incomplete teams like this one, Khalil and Ultima are definitely valid options. But again, only if you have big damage to do it. Like, they'll work with Reaper, they'll work with Kurt, but will they work with Freya? Not so much. So you may want to, hey Drogenis, you may want to consider maybe changing. You could potentially change them to Heaven and Hell just for that. This is not a burst team, though. You're not done in 3 rounds. This is the type of team that needs like 5 to 6 to win against an average team. So Khalil's burst is gone, and if Detlef didn't kill someone turn 2, you're done. You've got no chance left. But you can only buy 1 Skuld. That's like kind of iffy. That's kind of iffy. You might be better off just buying the Kurt and going with that. Because if you can't finish the Skuld, it's not worth it to start buying her. Like, how long is it going to take you to earn another 240 Moonstones? It'll probably take you quite a while. So, potentially the best option is buy Kurt instead. Move chat a bit upward? Okay. I'll do something different. If I can remember what I'm looking for. There. Hey, Dr. Roshi. Star Shards on Verthandi instead of Phoenix? Yeah, that's a good option too. I don't know if it's the best option, but if you're banking on Burst, it would be a better option than on Phoenix. On Phoenix, it's really wasted. I don't know that... I mean, okay, so try it out on Verthandi, but if you find that Verthandi's dying too fast without Bone Grip, then you're going to have to switch back to Bone Grip. But if you're banking on Burst and killing somebody turn 2, putting Star Shards on Verthandi is the way to go. Alright, so we'll give this a 5 because, quite honestly, this is a gimmick that's just very, very flimsy. It falls apart too fast. And Moonstones, I say save them. You either save them or buy Kurt. And Kurt's not going to help you 100%, but he'll do better than a T2 Skuld. At least on this team, while you still have junk. Alright, next is Cairo. Nope, stuff is not fitting right. Okay, hold on. Okay. Hey, Ward. Alright, next is Cairo. What do we got here? I can't see the rest of your bag. Yeah, I know, but I still want it to be so that most of them at least show up. I don't want all of them to be super zoomed in like that one. And so if Willie's is the normal size, then I want all of them to be on that size. Why is this skulled here? I suppose it doesn't matter too much, but why is this skulled here? A YouTuber named Dream? For Phoenix, the safest option is Blood Metal. Or Eye of Heaven. Why is this skulled here? I don't know what your other options are, but I feel like you put this skulled here just for the aura, and it's kind of like... Why? But I don't know the rest of your bag. Yeah, I don't know how the rest of your bag is, so... I'd probably rather put Dro up here. Gabriel, you can either waste them on artifacts, or you can save them until something happens, or you can buy... what is it called? Pet food. Steven, hold on, wait. Did I? Where did your message go? I don't even see it. If it got blocked by YouTube, I never even saw it happen. So anyway, I'd probably... Alright, Ward, take it easy. I'd probably put the Dro in here. Because this Verthandi is going to die fast. You might as well put the Dro in to throw in the 50% silence. This Skuld is honestly going to die on turn 1 anyway, so it doesn't even matter. I really don't understand this Skuld. Filling in just for Aura now is like... Okay. Alright, so this is basically a standard T4 Freya team. You demolish the rest of your team to make Freya, and that's totally fine. But if Freya is going to be doing this, you generally want her to be as protected as possible, which means not throwing a 5-star as her defender. So swap Dro here. Potentially you can put Freya in the back, just to be the last one to die. From level 160, 50,000 pet food, maybe 10 levels. Isn't it like 4,000 a level at that point, or is it 3,000 a level? If it's like 3,000 a level, then it would be like 17 levels. 16 levels. Third position. Third position is the most safe when you have a tank that actually takes a long time to die. He doesn't. So they are going to kill Verthandi turn 1. Skuld is also dead turn 1. By turn 2, they're already hitting Freya. When you've got paper tanks, 6th position is the safest. And these are definitely paper tanks. I mean, Nathan, you can work that out yourself. It's probably less than 20 levels, like 18, 19 levels. But that's also a ridiculously high amount of gold, so don't forget to worry about that. You're looking at like 120, 150 million gold. Alright, so as a team, how would I rate this? I guess like a 6, I guess? 5.5 for placement and Skuld. Because I feel like it's kind of like a blanket. Every team got a little bit different. Heroes before familiar? Absolutely yes. As long as you as long as you upgrade your familiar's passive skills, dodge, not just, as long as you have familiar speed maxed, and if you have Raphael, you probably want dodge maxed. After that, you can just work on heroes. The pet is not as big of a factor anymore. Not especially not the active skill, because the amount of damage it does just isn't worth it. All right, we'll give this a 5.5. If your placing was a little bit better, I would have put it up to 6, but swap Dro second, put Freya in the far back, and I think it'll do a little bit better. All right, next is Slick. Let's see what this looks like. What? No, you. As far as I'm concerned, this is basically a 10 team. I don't know, you can't improve on this. This and all variations of it are basically 10s at this time. So, Slick, I feel like you're just flexing at this point, because if you're this far, you already know what you want to improve, which is probably either a second Kurt or a second Scold. I mean, it's fair to ask what your artifacts are, but knowing that he's already got this... Hey, Akemaru. I'm gonna hope that he's got 2 Ragnaroks and 3 energies. He's probably got 2 Ragnaroks, huh? Although with only 4.4 million, that's kind of low. 2 Rag and 3 energy. 2 energy? Wait, and then what's the last 3 energy? Okay. So basically that's it. But why is your power so low? Is it pets? Is it guild tech? It can't be guild tech. Is it? It can't be pets. Oh, Phoenix is not max level. Scold is not max level. Hey, Sanju. That would put you up to like, what, 4.2, 4.1? Maybe 4.15? My team, this team, has 4.5 million. But, so, I don't know. That's all I can go on. That's all I've got to go on. Let me see here. I've got... Like, my team with this, with a Scold instead of a Themis, is 4.5. So, oh well. Alright. So, I mean, Slick just came in here to grab a 10 and go. Rune, at this point, Rune would be attack or crit rate on Kurt, attack or crit rate on Themis, attack on Skuld, speed on Valkyrie, speed on Lorelei, speed on Phoenix. This is actually pretty standard. We'll just give him a 10. I mean, there's not much improving on this. Bale, no, not on this team. Bale is not... You could use Bale, but this is more reliable, let's say. I would say for a single PvB team, this is good enough. If you want Bale, you're going to be splitting up your choices. Boomin made it work. Hey, Eskval. So, give it a 9. Lore with attack is the best choice for non-6T4. Hit or miss on that one. If they have a lore, you need to be faster. It's as easy as that. Alright, we'll give it a 9.5. I know it can be beaten. I know, just knowing that Boomin was able to beat me with the Bale team, I think there is still... So, you know what? I don't... Maybe there's no 10 at this point. Everything is beatable. Like, this is... We are in a rock, paper, scissors position at the top. Hey, Zyken. Hey, Neo. How can he improve? It's not so much how he can improve. It's the fact that there is better. But it's not that it's 100% better. It's that a specialized team with Azathoth or Bale could still beat this. And how can he counter it? He would have to change this. And he would need very, very specific counters. Hey, Etneb. So if you're getting beaten by Azathoth, you counter it by... I don't know how you counter Azathoth. Freya beats Azathoth. Azathoth beats Monkey King. Monkey King beats Freya. So there is an endless cycle, and Bale is kind of the same kind of in the rock paper scissors as well. So Boomin used Bale, Phoenix, Kurt, Lore, Valkyrie, Skuld. So I think the top is 9.5 right now. I don't think that there is better. So we're going to say that the highest you can get, hey Mohammed, is a 9.5 at this time. My Valkyrie is speed too. Lead Artist, it's the best purchase in the game. Watchman? You know what? If you make Watchman, then let us know how it goes, because he is so unknown. He may not help in this case. Like, if you throw up a 300,000 shield, and they're firing at you with Kurt that hits 1,000,000, and Themis that hits 1,000,000, Watchman did nothing. So he may, like, help a little bit in burst, but he may not be the best option. Unknown. I'm going to make one too, and we'll find out. Having Bale gives you options to beat teams that are beating you. Let's say that. But I don't think that there is 100% all-around, always better team. So we'll say, okay, we'll say, you know what? For Pogi's sake, 9.62 is now officially the highest score that I can grant. 9.62 will be the highest score available on this stream. Because we can't... There is better, but it's not always better. It's always kind of a circular tie. Alright. Hi MTG and hi Vandet. Alright, next is NDG. I was why is your Phoenix in the back? Really? Is there a specific reason for Phoenix being in the back here? Hey, Arctic. Oh, Geo, smooth is relative. Smooth is so relative. Mohammed, you should keep Detlef. He's good. Alright, so swap Valkyrie and Phoenix. Clearly. This team actually is solid. Hey, Jiahan. NDG, seriously? Seriously? You must have been sleeping when the Phoenix nerf happened. Basically, when Phoenix is in the back, he does an extra 70% damage to burned heroes. When he's in front, your entire team does 30% damage to burned heroes. So as a team support, you want him in front. If you're trying to make him be a damage dealer, you want him in back. But Phoenix's damage is nothing compared to Kurt, who is the core of this team. But, I mean, this is a team that's going to do really well against the average team. So we'll give it a 9, I guess. I don't know where you improve, honestly. Well, we're saying Valk swaps for Phoenix. Hey, I didn't say it, NDG, you did. But absolutely 100% that swap needs to be made. And that will instantly make your Kurt do 30% extra damage after he fires his skill. The rune and artifact for Kurt Themis, the best is going to be attack rune and Ragnarok. That's the best. If you don't have them, you can use Deathbreak rune and Gaia Bulga, or Deathbreak rune and Holy Light Justice / Blood Metal. So that's the order of the top 3 choices for them, which completely depends on what artifact you've got. If you've got Ragnarok, put it on Kurt first. Otherwise, Gaia Bulga. Otherwise, the or the exclusive hit rate artifact. Okay, we'll dock a point. NDG, you lost an entire point for not understanding the Phoenix nerf. You see what happens, NDG? You sleeping. Why you sleeping? All right. All right, this is Azeroth. Just goes to show, you gotta pay attention. All right, this is an interesting choice. Hey Speedy, I am rejecting your hashtags. I am rejecting them. 9.62 has a much deeper meaning than you give credit. Why Aegina? I feel like more people need to start building Verthandis. Like, for starting teams like this, why don't you have a Verthandi? Why did you never build one? Because you were making Skuld. Honestly, I think this is a pretty good team. I think this is actually quite a solid team. In easy mode? What? Speedy, I beat the first Dolmon boss, and now I'm stuck on the second one. So when I start playing again, I'm going to be starting from that boss. So annoying. Alright, so today NDG has learned something. I can give this team a 7. I think his placement is good. He's not Skuld, he's got Kurt. Kurt helps for 2 turns, maybe 3 turns. He will power up. He will give the defense that hopefully keeps Freya alive long enough to steamroll their team. I think he's got a better set of support than the other teams. Freya Aegina swap. Honestly, it makes no difference at this point. If they got through you to be hitting Freya and Aegina, you're probably dead anyway. And Freya is really the core of the team, so Freya needs to be the safest person here. Alright, so we'll give Azeroth a 7. I like this team. I feel like this is what a good transition team looks like, where you don't sacrifice too much to do it, and you keep a solid core that you can work on, rather than having a T4 and the rest be like 8 stars, and therefore you've got like literally nothing. This is much cleaner to look at. So, good job, Azeroth. Oh wait, he says need one more Aegina. Should you pull Watchman? 14,000 key or 1,400 keys. Keep Dro or Verthandi and Kurt. I don't think you want Watchman. I think Valkyrie's position is still too solid for transition game, and even until late game, I think Valkyrie's still too important to give up, especially knowing that Watchman is not as strong as we thought he was. So I'd say skip Watchman, keep Dro for now, but you have the option to swap Dro for Ultima if you want to play it that way. That's also a solid choice. But if you do that, Ultima would be in slot 1 and Phoenix would be in slot 2. Now, do you make Verthandi? This is the kind of team where you actually are not bad off making Ultima. Steven, do you agree? I feel like Ultima is a solid choice for this team. Verthandi is good too, Kurt is fine, but Ultima is actually a very good choice. So, whichever one you want to play with, all of them I feel like are valid options, but definitely do finish the Aegina. Vanded, it's probably based on her talent 3. See, John, Watchman, Phoenix, and Skuld doesn't do damage. If you're pairing all 3 of those with a Kurt Themis, maybe. Maybe. But if it's just Watchman, Phoenix, Skuld, you're going to get torn up. You are going to get totally torn up. But who would his third damage dealer be? I guess it would have to be Valkyrie. Where is the best place for Freya? Wherever she doesn't die. There isn't really a best place. Because in this team, it's fine because Freya is the strongest on the team. But for other teams where Freya is not the strongest on the team, you may want to consider putting someone else in the back. Okay, so Steven says finish Kurt first. That's fair too. So finish Kurt and then you can make Ultima. So by having Ultima in front, when Ultima hits 50%, the rest of your team gets 30% stronger or 30% stronger. And if Ultima is like T2, T3 and is guaranteed to fire, then your Freya becomes even faster and is like almost a mini version of having your own Lorelei, and that helps too. So finish Kurt, then make Ultima. He's nowhere close to Skuld. If he's not close to finishing Skuld, why is Skuld a priority? He says he's only 1 copy away from Kurt T4. Ultima was always good. It's just that we didn't know how to use her. You don't think he's close to Ultima? Well, let me tell you this. If you want Skuld and you want Ultima, I think you can guess which one is going to be easier to get. you'll get 10 times as many Ultimas as you will Scolds if you play this game through. There's just no way around that. So, it's like, if you want Ultima, you can get it. Plus, Ultima's in the Soul Shop, so you can buy as many as you want. Alright, so this team, yeah, we gave it a 7. Next is MR. Do I have to close submissions already? I'm gonna close submissions right now. Hold on. There's way too many already. Oh god, there's a lot. Yeah, I'm not gonna get through all of these. Let's go a little bit faster. Speedy, that just means if you have any in shards, you can get 25 artifact shards, that's all. There's no extra chance to get her. Darkness, probably not. I usually go through as many as I can get to, but depending on how many there are, there is no guarantee that I get to all of them in one stream. Alright, alright, alright. See, now this works out better. Hey, Eon. This works out better than than Willie's team, because Reaper benefits so much more from Khalil. Because Khalil dies, Reaper gets buffed. Khalil die, Reaper gets double buffed. He gets buffed from Khalil dying and from his skill. So this works so much better than Detlaf, which is Detlaf may kill one person and may steamroll, but Detlaf's not always guaranteed to get a kill. Reaper is the type that's... You can get Reapered a lot easier than you can get Detlafed. So this is a good team. I don't have... You have 5 copies of Detlaf. You need 2 copies for Verthandi T4. Imagine Yale Link is in both places, up and below. I have never been Reapered, because by the time I started, by the time I had T4 teams, I had full T4 teams, and I've never lost to a single T4 Reaper. I know the potential exists, and I know other people have had that problem, but I have never personally experienced it. So we'll give this team also a 7, actually. His gimmick is better. His gimmick works. And he says he can make Verthandi or Detlaf. I say make Verthandi. You want a tank. You need to keep your tank alive as long as possible before Reaper fires. And a 10-star Verthandi is just gonna die too fast most of the time. Yeah, Bold. NDG is living in... I don't know what time frame he's living in, but it's not 2020. Alright, next is gonna be Minato. I don't know that I needed this many pictures. Hey, Qatar. You just made Reaper. Either Luna or Medusa. One of those two. Probably Luna. Probably Luna. Because that way... Yeah, I'm going to say Luna. Nathan, I've seen it done. I have not tried it myself, but I know the potential is there. But it would be only in very specific burst teams. Giovanni, usually I do them every 2 weeks. So, but I mean, it's been on hiatus for a while, so we'll see how it goes. He is nowhere close to Berthandi, so... I mean, I don't know what... Imagine Yale, unfortunately submissions are closed. You gotta be in within the first 20 to 30 minutes of stream starting, otherwise there's too many people. Vivienne's team buff. I mean, she does give defense, her healing is better, but she does no damage. So, she's better, but she's still not viable. So if he was like in the middle of the first month, I guess he's nothing you can do about it. Okay, so 6-star Ultima. Ultima needs a very specific team to use. Ultima also gives speed boost. That speed is pretty big. And at least Ultima hits the backline and stuff. I mean, Vivienne is just not as good. Healing's not enough in this meta. She's probably really good at this point, which is why I'm not recommending him to replace Vivienne. At 9 stars, she's probably fine. 10 stars and higher, no way. Just no way. Remember, she's also like the second slowest cleric. Uh-oh. Grand T4, not a good choice. NDG was not trolling. He legitimately didn't know. Who is a good... Ultima is not a pair with one person. Ultima is a pair with a strong backline. So if you've got 3 good damage dealers in the back, Ultima does really good with that. Otherwise... not so good. That's what you want. 3 good damage dealers in the back. Alright, so Minato for this team, it's very even. It's pretty solid. I give this a 7. I think this will do fine against other people on the same team. I don't remember losing to a Grand. I know that Grand can do stuff, but... oh, hold up. My 8-hour timer is up. I know Grand is strong against weaker heroes, but... I still wouldn't ever go out of my way to make Grand. Joao, Detlef is trash before T4, so no. I mean, I would agree that probably if I went in with a weaker team, Grand would kill me. But if I had a decently strong team, I would kill the Grand every time. 6.75? What? You just want to take away points for the heck of it? Alright, so we'll give Minato a 7. Maybe not a 7. No, we'll give him a 7. It's fair. Try to go... Ripper. Ripper is okay. He's in usable tier, but not amazing. He's probably one of those that's an amazing first or like early T4, but then after that is pretty trash. Alright, this is... Karen really loves pizza, I gotta say. This seems like a standard team for someone that had Unity and was just trying to mix it. Now Ripper's really good one-on-one, but not outside of that. He's still squishy. Drogenist, actually, that's not a terrible idea. But if you're gonna be pulling your Heaven and Hell Miracle Eyes anyway, you shouldn't be fighting that hard for Heaven fodder. But you know what? That's actually a fine idea. I never thought about it, because you got to be in a pretty specific place to be doing that. Your next T4? I mean, I could say Scold. I could say Monkey King. I don't think Valkyrie. So probably either Phoenix or Scold. And that's even then. Phoenix would be more for honor. Scold would be for this team. To basically give you the same team that I have. Which is still not the best. But, I mean, this team is fine. It's good. It's a good team. So yeah, it's either Phoenix or Scold. I don't think one is 100% better. Probably Scold is better. Phoenix is better for Honor, Scold is better for Brave Arena. Let's put it that way. So you pick and choose which one you want to make. This team, I can give it a 9. I'll give this one a 9. Well, 8.5. I feel like it's solid, but the top teams would beat it. But it would kill everything around that. Sean K, yeah, reset time is 3.5 hours ago. You can see it in the game if you want, actually. Let me show you. Oh, whoops, not there. Game time right now is 3.3 hours, 3.3 hours and 39 minutes after reset. So when this hits 0, that's reset time. I can't deduct points for Kurt anymore because I have Kurt. Abhijit, why does it have to be undead? The top team? Right now, we're thinking that there is no pure top team. CE is your team power. So this number right here is your CE. Where do they tell you it, actually? I've seen this CE, BR, power, whatever it is. But yeah, this is your CE. And yours is fairly low. So as I was saying earlier, This is my team, and I have 4.5. In guild? Oh yeah, in guild it says it up here. Total CE. What? What is this? I don't want to select that. Why is that? Why does that have a green dot? You dumb thing. So... Anyway. Qatar, I'll put Azathoth in when he hits T4. CE is combat effectiveness. Joel, go with Freya. Oh, I really like these 5-second ads. I really like that. Alright, so this team, I mean, it's good, but if someone had a better team, which it had 2 skulls or something... No, we can give this a 9, actually. We'll just give it a 9. This is solid. Abhijit, there's a tier list in the description down below. That will tell you most of the heroes that you want to focus on. Tears of the Goddess would put you at maybe 4 million. It's not as big as you think it is. I mean, let me check. Where can I do that? Alright, so if I have... Who's got star shards? Alright, so Freya here is at 638. If I change her to star shard, she's at 582, so 50. I mean, if you had 3 star shards and you changed 3 of them to Tears of the Goddess, you still wouldn't be at 4 million. So your power is very, very low for what you have. And I'm assuming you also don't have top gear, max skill tech. And bear in mind, I'm not using HP Talent 1. Wait, I'm kind of curious about this. Lindbergh, Mars. Holy cow. What happened here? Wow, Freya tore you up. Freya tore you up. Oh my god, Freya. Oh my god, Freya. Wow, that's a scary team, actually. Freya, Lindbergh, Mars. Alright. So anyway, yeah. So your power is low, but... The damage? Okay, hold on. Valkyrie did the most damage. Lindbergh actually did not do much damage at all, but he fired skill 3 times? Like, overall damage was not crazy, but... That's how it works. I think if we put our strongest team against one of Bold's 2 teams, and then like our best team against his 3rd team, we can beat Bold. But most people are not going to be able to do that yet. So it's going to be a lot of luck. Alright, so we'll give this a 9. Next T4 is probably Skuld or Phoenix. Do whichever you want, whichever you're closer to. Alright, next is Rohit, who put in a very small picture. This is exactly the same team! This is the same team, so it gets the same score. And I don't have the rest of your bag, so we'll just go with that. That was easy. Wow, his power is even lower. What level was Karen's familiar? 185. 5 levels higher. Alright, well, we'll also give him a 9 because... Same reason as that. And because I don't have his bag, we don't have the rest of it. Kurt 299 tilts you? I hate to say it, Eskball. How about this one right here? Does this Kurt 299 tilt you? Nathan, they have exactly the same team. And Kurt is staying at 299 because I ain't got the purple for it. I do not have it. 1.6. 2.2. I still need 1,000,000 purple, and I don't got it. I don't got it. Oh, wait, I got 1.7 million? Alright, 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 alright. We can untilt Eskval. We can untilt Eskval. Kurt is now level 300. I didn't realize Planet gave so much. Alright, so Rohit gets an easy 9 and move on. Next is Rash. I'm not sold on this one. I'm not super sold on this one. I think it's okay. I don't like the Detlef. I'm not super sold on this one, actually. Detlef is really good at a very specific point in the game. When everybody's got Skulled, Detlef loses a lot of his effectiveness. So, like, he's really good early T4, but once you get into the full T4 teams, his effectiveness drops very largely. Alright, so this team, I would say I give it an 8. I'm not sold on it. 3 to 4 T4s, yeah, if they don't have a skull, if you don't have a skull, Detlef will tear you apart. And even if you have a skull and one of your weak ones die and you waste skulled revive, Detlef will tear you up. Yeah, freaking NDG ruining my bets. Your Valk helps, your Freya helps, but still, if their Detlef isn't targeting your Valkyrie at specifically the right time, you know, you're screwed. And you know, I don't need to tell you about it, but yeah, Detlef, very specific points of effectiveness. Alright, so we'll give him an 8. I don't like this Detlef. If it was an Aegina, I guess it's okay. Could be better. Oh, Bold, did you see I swept my bracket 2-0 all 3 fights? Nathan, Verthandi's healing is minimal. It's really not much healing at all. What you're better off using her for is giving your whole team 20 true damage. And the reflect damage from being a tank. That's actually a lot of damage. Alright, next is Lamb. Scoring on this is easier than I thought it was going to be. Wow, wait a minute. Is Thought Destroyer the loser right now? With a 5? Oh my god. Willie, you might have the crown. Yeah, I had such an easy bracket. Now that I know that I can control my power to get out of specific brackets, I'm going to be doing that a lot more. I don't want to be in bracket A anymore. And now I know exactly how to get out of it. Hey, soy boy. Alright, this is... Who is this? This is Lamb. Well, because you have Verthandi, you don't need Tiger King. You should work on Lorelei instead. The easiest warrior to get? Sir Conrad? See, Bold, I'm not lowering at the last second, though. I lower on, like, the second day. So I'm playing a whole day at that CE. So it's not like I'm, you know, gaming the system completely. I am, you know, minimizing it, but... Conrad can go up to 9 stars. Do you not... Does that not count? Safer, yes. Easier, no. Alright, so probably I'd say work on this Freya and fodder the Tiger King to make... Fodder the Tiger King to make Freya 10 stars. Nathan, Conrad's fodder, though. You're basically just making him for fodder. The reason he's the easiest is because he has a 4-star version, which I think he's the only one. Let me see. Conrad, Rillia, Eagle Eye, Puppet Maid, X-Death, Foreign? Is it for the 4 stars that go to 9? Werewolf. Also Werewolf. And Mega. Olivia, yes. Olivia is... How many of them go to T4? Olivia, Rillia, Werewolf, Mega. So only 4 of them go to T4. Khalil. Alright, so I missed a few. Oh, Lone Hero. Mega is trash. Mega is absolute trash. Alright, so Lamb, replace this Tiger King with Lorelei. Work on that Freya. Overall, it's not a great team, but it's balanced-ish. Minus this... No, it's not, actually. It's actually not that balanced. Stop leveling up all these heroes. Yeah, bold. 7th highest is I gotta work on it. But I mean, I'll have Watchmen. Unless I skip Watchmen and just make Azathoth. If I make Azathoth, I think I might get stronger. My first team would actually be almost sure to beat one of your teams. Maybe. Maybe not. But it would have a better chance at least. Alpha Dog, if you've got a good team, Vivian's not going to help you. Hey, Stanley. Vivian's probably another one that's good early, but unless she's paired with good damage dealers, you wouldn't make her a priority. Alright, so what would I rate this team? What do I rate this team? I'm going to give this a 5. It's decidedly average. No more, no less, pure average. He doesn't have the strong heroes up there. He just has stuff. That Chinese guy is losing round 1 to Draken. Oh wait, I gotta set my formation, huh? Alright, let me see. What would he set? He would set strongest, weakest, medium. He would set strongest, weakest, medium. I would set weakest, medium, strongest. No, then I lose 2 straight. Alright, I'm going to change my formation. I guess I shouldn't show up my formation. Hey Burr, I shouldn't show my formation on stream because they will watch it. Tiger King is common as hell. Easy to make, not that good. Alright, so Lamb gets a 5. Very, very average team. Nothing special to it. Nothing bad, nothing great. But decidedly average. By the way, guys, remember to read this PSA. Tomorrow is a collection event, meaning you will want to do pre-idling, which means pay attention to this and make sure you are logged out 8 hours, at least 8 hours before the event reset. No, Vandet, no. It's a secret. It's a secret to everyone. The order of my team is a secret to everyone. I'm gonna, just you watch. I'm gonna make my T4 Olivia and I'm not gonna tell anyone I have it. Nathan, I believe it stops at 18 actually. Let me see. It scales up. It definitely scales up. Hey, Bold, what is the final quest for making T4 talent for T4 heroes? So at the 10th one is 1,000 gems and 3,900 gold souls. And so that's the quest for making 10. And the quest for making... Oops. 15 of them is 1,250 gems and 4,900 gold souls. So it's not really big. It's not even big. Oh, hey. I'm only 2 away from 100 expedition clears. I believe the limit is 18. Burr, the reset is in 20 hours. Hi, Revive Evan. Alright, so this is... Who is this? This is Ronnie. Alright, he says... He can T3 Phoenix and Skull And T4 him soon with one more copy. Who do you T4 next? Nathan, that one I think stopped at 18. Man, I can check. Actually, maybe I can check on this account. Let's see here. To level 250? Oh, whoops. I don't have it on this account. Man, you guys keep asking for stuff that's on my main account, but I finished watching the ads on that account and I'm trying to switch over. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, level 250 ends at 18 heroes, so probably the one for T4 is 18 as well. Alright, good night, Imagine Yale. Thanks for stopping in. Let me switch back over so I can watch ads again. Attack rune on Freya is good. If you're gonna use an attack rune, Death Break is better, but speed is also a good option. Speed is generally the better option. Alright, so he's using Verthandi Valkyrie Phoenix, Skuld, Aegina. Who's that last one? Freya. Ripper would suck on this team. Who is possible to counter? Counter what? Everybody has a counter. Taking 10 heroes, taking 14 heroes to level 250 is also 5 flags. So it is not a major, it doesn't scale up on that one. The one that go to T4 scales up. The one for 250 does not. Verthandi speed rune, yeah, you can use that. She can also use dodge or she can use attack. All of them are viable. Detlef counter is Skuld. Who do you T4 next? After Phoenix and Skuld? Lorelei. 100% Lorelei. Alpha Dog, it's up and down. Like, if you use a Lorelei or something, or just a bunch of CC, a bunch of crowd control, Freya's speed is fine. She'll be fast enough. Kind of depends. Can Bale counter Detlef? No. If Detlef fires before Bale does, Detlef will kill Bale. Let me see if that's true, actually. Who is faster? 1191. And oh, my internet is going down. 1182. Detlef is faster than Bale, meaning if Bale is your single T4, Detlef will kill him before he can do anything. And Bale needs to fire before he gets his damage reduction. But if their Bale has energy, iffy. Still iffy. He's not a direct counter. Soy Boy, we were just discussing that. Literally, somebody just asked that. Anyway, speed is one of the best runes on Freya. Otherwise, defense break. Alright, Ronnie, next T4 is definitely Lorelei. 100%. Unless you can finish Themis, in which case make Themis. But if not, Lorelei. Rank this team. What do we rank it? It's decidedly average. Decidedly average. We'll give it a 7. 7.5. Decidedly average, but strong. Double Freya is not good. Marquito will tell you Freya is too RNG, and she's too squishy. Double Freya, like if both of them die, only one revive, and if they don't go off, you lose. Like, so your chances of losing are much higher than your chances of winning. And as for should you pull Watchman, I would not pull Watchman. Not on this team. You're not set enough to want Watchman. Next is Uproar. Kurt or Themis. Kurt does more damage, but Themis is more reliable due to her revive. So if somebody else takes out Themis's revive, Kurt wins. If Themis can manage to take out Kurt with her skill first, Themis wins. Alright, who is this? This is Uproar. $40 Phoenix Stones? Oh, I have 0 Phoenix Stones now. Skuld is very hard to get. 8-star Phoenix is very good, yes. So what would he be using? I guess he's using his top 6 because nobody else is T4. Didn't someone have this same team? Wow, 1,000 Moonstones. Jort, why does your guildmate have so many Moonstones? And no Miracle Eyes. What the heck? Alright, who had this team? Rash. I think Rash had this team. Let's go back and look at it. This was Rash's team, and this is Uproar's team. It is exactly the same. It is exactly the same. Alright, Uproar, you get an 8. Saving for a... Oh, wait. Did Rash not have a Skuld? No, Rash had... No? Rash had a Skuld. This guy has... This guy has Lorelei instead of Skuld. Okay, nope. He loses points. Alright, we'll give him a 7.5. No... we'll give him a 7. No Skuld is huge. No Skuld is actually very huge. Rithandi or Monkey King? Monkey King should win 1v1. Mars or Nameless King? Take Mars. But neither one is all that great. How many Skulds does he need? He needs 7? 7 times 180 is 1260. So if he's buying Skuld straight out, he actually still needs 205. Wow, all that saving and he still doesn't have enough? Man, I feel bad for your guildmate. I feel bad. 7 might actually be high. He might lose to mediocre teams that have Skuld. Considering he's got Dettlaff. If they've got Skuld, he probably gets wiped. Should we downgrade him again? Verthandi or Mars? Take Verthandi. Themis has been event rewards more often than Skuld has lately. Mikiro, that doesn't work at T4. If all 3 of the backline have bubbles, you disable 0 people. You might disable 1 if Azathoth breaks the bubble and Lindbergh hits that person. So you have like a 66% chance to disable one person. New hero is okay. I'm going to drop him again, actually. I'm sorry to say this, Jort, but Skuld is just too vital at T4 range. I mean, you know that as well as I do. Like, T4 people will just destroy him. Or T4 Skuld people will destroy him. That's just how it is. Sorry, Uproar, but #1 priority is to finish this Skuld as soon as possible. Take it easy, Breeze. Thanks for stopping in. Alright, let's try and go a little bit. I missed it because I thought he had Skuld. I missaw one of his people as a Skuld. And then when I realized my mistake, I'm like, wait a minute. Nathan, yes and no. Depends where you are. Anybody benefits from having 3 Phoenixes, 3 Skulds. Everybody. You even can benefit from having 3 Valkyries. So as soon as your team is done, that's when you want to start expanding for honor, and you can start making multiple heroes. Like when you look at the top tier, you always want multiple of the top tier. They're all good. Like Phoenix will half carry a mediocre secondary team in honor. So Land of Dawn, Valkyrie. Skuld would be a terrible first T4. She has no damage. Alright, this is Hypercube, who wants to pull for Watchman, and I say that's a terrible idea. Watchman will not help this team. Well, he started branching out, but he's not doing it the best way. He should have been making heroes T4 instead of... Oh, I see what you mean. No, it's a mistake. Don't do it if you can help it. I did it with Azathoth because of the Awakening quest. So at this point, Azathoth would be the only one where it would be not good, but acceptable for people to have less than T4 while they're working on someone else. Azathoth really is the only exception at this time, and the other one will be Watchmen starting tomorrow. Land of Dawn, Valkyrie is just very hard to get. Alright, so Hypercube, do not pull for Watchmen. Really don't pull for Watchmen. Stanley, we're rating those teams at like 7.5 right now. Now, Watchmen might help him, actually. I really don't think that he should pull for Watchmen, but Watchmen would not do terrible on this team. But if all you're going to have is a 10-star Watchman, how does that help you at all? You're better off waiting and getting a Skuld, or getting the Valkyrie up. You're closer to the Valkyrie than you are to the Watchman. Nathan, I mean, you're hurting yourself by pulling. By not pulling at least 2 rounds, which is the most efficient point to be at, you're hurting yourself. It's as easy as that. Like, unless you'd think that you're going to be actually using Watchmen... Oh, whoops. How can you get Phoenix? Convert, pull Miracle Eyes into Heaven and Hell, and convert in Horde. Phoenix is hard to get. Phoenix is very, very hard to get. Watchman would be his replacement for Skuld. So let's say he had it. Let's say he had a T4 Watchman. It wouldn't be a terrible idea, but I still don't think he should be pulling. He doesn't have... It's too niche. I think Watchman would be good for him, but I still don't think he should pull. I think he should focus on Skuld Valkyrie, who are known to be good, whereas Watchman is a very big what if. Stanley, I would give that team like a 6.5. Alright, so team-wise, we'll give this guy a 7. 6.5, I guess. They're not going to be able to stop his Kurt. If they've got 2 to 3 T4s, they're not going to be able to stop his Kurt. But his Kurt's also not going to be full powered because only 2 people fire before him. We'll give it a 7. I'm a little bit iffy on how... if the Kurt will be able to one-shot anybody here. Hi, Sean. What can they do to Scarlet to make her useful again? They would need to basically make her like Ripper. Extra damage to poison people, more poison. I believe her skill is counted as bonus damage and not poison. She probably... all her numbers need to go up. Just like Olivia. Her numbers are too low. Like, isn't her skill like 60% damage or something like that to all? Poison just is no longer meta. Like, that's why Aegina is falling off, because poison just... it takes too long for Aegina to do her damage. And if they're already dead by turn 3, what did Aegina do? Nothing. Alright. Next is Galaxy Axel. Azathoth counters healing on the front line, yes. Hi, Nyan. Watchman Lexar. Yes and no, but it's still very hard for Lexar to hit 50% before he fires. And he is slow and he has no control resist. Seriously, if he had something where he wipes all his control at 30% or 50% HP, he would be way better. He really would. That alone would actually make him more decent. Sean, choose neither. Neither one is a very strong hero. Man, Bold's got like 5,000 keys. Of course he's pulling. Alright, Axel has no questions. This team, oh. This team is basically the same as the other teams we're looking at, so we're going to give it a 6.5. His team is basically the same as Uproar's. No Skuld. And he's got a Verthandi. 1,500? You are slacking. My god. I actually can't even say get on Siulin's level because he only has like 1,100. So Bold, if you get 1 copy from the up chest, that puts you at 5, and then you could buy the $100 one and you would be at 7. That's not bad. You could get up to T3 right away. A second Freya, basically for PvE. It does work in Den, but that's it. And you could have fun with it in Honor, but she's not as strong as other heroes. So this team, okay, we'll give it a 6.5. Basically the same as Uproar, because no Scold kills it. So your goal, work on Scold. Work on Valkyrie, work on Scold. Next is Bang. If you bought all the Planet Trial packs, it's not so bad. And you can buy packs in the Planet Shop as well. Degnant was buying the Planet Shop packs non-stop to keep up. I don't think Bold actually has a problem with that, because it's not like he's making a T4 every week or even every 2 weeks. So his flag income is not so bad. So if he buys some from the Planet Shops, he's fine. As long as he doesn't overfuse like crazy. And he doesn't need to, because he's already got the fodder. Alright, Bang asks, who do you T4 next? Who do you 300 next? And do you use Watchman? Are we talking about who do you T4 after Kurt? Because if that's the answer, then Lorelei. I mean, Lorelei is the easy answer. Honestly, I'm not that far off of dismantling my Chesia. In which case, I will have a ton of fodder left. I could make another T4 easily. But I can't actually. Come to think of it, I have no Phoenix Stones. No! I have no Phoenix Stones, I just realized. Oh well. Okay. You want to make Det laugh, should you pull? You should not pull unless you want Watchman. You're wasting all your keys if you're pulling without wanting Watchman. Alright, we'll give this team a 7. Nathan, I can't spend it yet. And buying the new hero comes with Phoenix Stones, so I guess I'll have 5. Eskval Watchman is like a ghetto Scold. Will it replace? No. Will it work? Yes. But we'll see. Honestly, I couldn't tell you the answer to that because nobody's used Watchman yet. Oh man, I would rather pull for Bale, but the Awakening event is too strong. I can always use Moonstones for Bale. Like, I can't do that for Watchman. I have enough Moonstones to maybe buy 1 Bale copy. I'll get there. Welcome, Ritik. Who should you 300? Oh, they're all low level. I say Phoenix. Phoenix and then Kurt. Phoenix and then Kurt. How do you earn Moonstones? By completing weekly events. Also by completing Tavern and Fuse. Completing Fuse is hard for early players, but Tavern should be not too bad. Alright, so yeah, 300 the Phoenix and then the Kurt, and then use your stuff. NDG, I say you're too far away for that. Long, make Kurt. Kurt or Lore. If you already have Scold, you can make Kurt. If not, make Lorelei. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Awakening event, but, you know, free stuff is free stuff. Nathan, I wouldn't worry about it. All they gotta do is bring you a secret treasure and you can buy 10 more with gems. It's all luck-based anyway. Alright, so this was Bang Given the team is what it is, we'll give it an 8. We'll give it an 8. Solid progress. Let's try and go faster, guys. Distracted as always. Always, always distracted. This is Zach2279. Interesting. Ooh, 100 flags. I mean, but Bold, if it was 100 flags, wouldn't you still be rushing to finish it? Oh, I see what you mean. Meh. Meh. There may come a day when you don't get to finish the fuse event again, so think about that. And they may actually... And they may offer you moonstones and other sources too. Alright, so this team is pretty solid. It's good. This is a good team. He has no questions. I don't have... I'd say your best goal would be to replace Wolnir with Verthandi. But only when Verthandi is 9-star. Once Verthandi's 9, you can replace Wolnir. I don't know that matters. Maybe 8. Sean, you level up VIP by buying things. As far as a team, I can give this a 7.5. It's solid. It kills things. It's not a bad team. In the meantime, you can tank with your Phoenix if you want. You could even swap Wolnir with Ultima and tank with Phoenix. Nathan, it's a great deal. And it's 150 flags when you get up to 160, 170. Those are turning out to be ultra critical deals to buy. Like if you're at a point where you can beat 160s, you should probably be buying those flag packs. I've bought half of them, maybe. And I regret that. I should have bought all of them, but I didn't. Alright, so yeah, 7.5, and you have the potential to swap. So then your team would be Ultima, Phoenix, Dro, Freya, Valk, Reaper. You would want Freya and Valkyrie in the back to take advantage of this. It's not the greatest option because you're really only powering up Reaper, but try it out. Alright, next is Luffy. So Luffy, you have the same thing that I said to others, where Freya should be in the back. Flags are difficult because the rate that we earn them is lower than the rate that we use them. Especially when you consider the fusing event where everybody is trying to fuse 2 9s and a 10. That is, how many flags is that? That's 260 flags every single 2 weeks. It's not that easy to get that many flags in 2 weeks. Unless you're like doing really good with pulling events. I think this team is fine. Just put Freya in the back instead. Hey Z-Max. Yeah, this team is fine. We'll give it a 7. It's a solid 7. I don't know. The scores don't mean as much anymore. Alright, next is no, Ray. Next is Ray. Nathan, that's very expensive. That's a lot of gems. My main only has like 5,000 gems, so I'm not doing anything. Nathan or ZMax description is right here. Also the video description, but submissions are closed right now. Alright, so this is Ray. You are positioning artifacts and use a Detlef or Aegina. I say keep the Detlef right now. Positioning an artifact. This positioning is fine, but you may want to put Valkyrie second just because she is one of the tougher ones to kill. Artifacts, you would want Blood Metal, Giant Lizard, Energy, Ragnarok, Queen's Crown. Neo, Heaven and Hell were always meant to be so much stronger than the other factions. I think it's fine. You could put Ragnarok on Detlef as well. And you could also put it on Lorelei. But of these, the best one for only one is... Oh, I see. That's what you meant. 2 energies, Bone Grip, Gaia Bolga. Okay. Okay, energy on Freya and Skuld. Gospels. No, wait. Gaia Bolga on Valkyrie. Soul Torrent on Detlef. Do you have a Blood Metal? You don't have Blood Metal. Eye of Heaven on Phoenix. And Queen's Crown on Lorelei. Which rune is the best for Dro? Speed. Abdel, pretty much most people should be skipping Watchmen. If you don't have a super strong PvP team right now, you don't need Watchmen. Yeah, and you also should not be taking so many heroes to T1, T2. You should have focused on any of these to T4 first. Sathya, Team Critique submissions are closed. You are very much too late. There are way too many submissions today already. I'm not even going to get to all of them. Oh, wait, I didn't rate. Seven and a half. 7.5. Unity still is basically right there. 7.5. No longer higher. What's up, Teddy? Yeah? Is there dog barking over there? Teddy, come here. No, Teddy, you don't need to see the stupid dogs. Alright, so Ray gets a 7.5. Chiwi. Alright, Stanley, you know what? I've decided I cannot tell when you're trolling and not, so I'm just going to ignore most of your recommendations. Like, I can't tell which of them you want me to take seriously. without laughing. Hi, Wounds. Alright, this team is okay. The skull being low is perfectly fine. I can't see the rest of the bag. Sean, it tells you right there. You got to go to the YT Team Critique channel. However, it is closed right now for today's stream. I suggest you also join the Roles channel and take a look, because if you add the Team Critique role to yourself, I will tag people right before the stream starts if you want to be there when it's about to start. Nathan, you should just always try to finish it. Period. Always. Alright. This team, I'll give it a 7.5. 7, I'll give it a 7. It's not bad. It's a solid team. No, you're gonna say seriously Dro is better than Kurt, and then I'm gonna laugh at that. Alright, next is Alpha Dog. This team benefits from a Lorelei. You really need a Lorelei. Nathan, in general, what I would say is that people make 3 T9s and turn them, or 3 9-stars and turn them into a 10. So you would overfuse 1 9-star every single event if possible. That way it'll take you 2 rounds to make enough fodder to make the 3 rounds to make a T4. So it would take you a month and a half to make T4s. That would be the most efficient way to do it. You have energy on Skuld and Freya. Should you focus on third energy? Okay, so Azathoth does really good with energy. So yes, you would love to have energy on Azathoth. Eskval, I think last year Christmas event wasn't that great. I would say they are very, what's the word? Inconsistent with their good events. I used to try and make 4 9-stars every week, every 2 weeks, but I couldn't do it anymore. So I think the best that people can do is 3 9-stars and 1 10-star. I think that's the best that anyone can do with any sort of consistency. And even then, you're going to run low on flags. Three rounds of Miracle Eyes is what? 75 Moonstones, and 3 keys is 90? Where'd you go, Teddy? Oh, hey, what's up? Come here. Here's a teddy cat. Here is Teddy Toes. Oh, no. I have 3 cats. Here's a teddy tail. You could just use Bone Grip on Azathoth and focus on Skuld. Skuld is probably more important. Teddy. What's up, Teddy? Teddy is super cute. And he comes and sleeps with me in bed. He comes and climbs under the blanket and falls asleep next to my side for like 10 minutes, and then he leaves. Oh, cats. Cats are so silly. Eskval, 3 9-stars, converting 2 of them into a 10, yes. Which means you need to be careful about which 9-stars you make sometimes. Because if you make 3 fodder ones, Sean, submissions are closed today. You are trying too late. I'm sorry. Which is why, if you add the Team Critiques role to yourself in the roles channel, you can be tagged next time I do this stream, which hopefully is in 2 weeks. Alright, so your goal, work on Skuld. Use Bone Grip on Azathoth, and that's fine. This team will do good. It's not the strongest, but it'll do fine. I'd give it an 8.5. No, we'll give it an 8 just because Skuld is low level. We'll give it an 8. It's solid. Is Aegina better than Freya? No. No. Aegina has a higher chance to do more damage, but Freya has a higher chance to actually be a deciding factor. Aegina is rarely going to be a deciding factor on her own to win and winning a battle. Sean, it'll be 2 weeks. I can't do this every week. It's too much. Next is Hindsight. Mr. 2020. Is Lorelei ever a deciding factor? She can be. She absolutely can be. The reason for that is because if your Lorelei fires before theirs, and your team is designed around being a burst turn 1, blow them all up, you can end the battle before anything happens. Like, if your Lorelei can make it so that your Kurt or your stuff... Like, you could make your Valkyrie fire before their Skuld, let's say. Stuff like that. Stuff like that where a firing order would be so critical. Not every time, but it doesn't help. It doesn't hurt. Christian Lorelei is better. Alright, so this team... Oh, whoa. I might considering putting Skuld third here. Sean, Team Critique streams are very tiring, so I can't do them that often. Otherwise, I will burn myself out, and I just won't be able to keep up with them. Axel, you basically had the same team as Uproar, which was a solid team, but lack of Skuld means you suffer too much. If you build lore, who do you replace? Detlaf. Easy Detlaf. Ty, if you read it, the defense does not stack. Only the crit rate and the true damage stack. Skuld was not the greatest choice for this team. It's not bad, but it's not great. We'll give it a 7. It's not a bad team. It's just, if everything... Really, Skuld could tank. You could tank with Skuld. That's an option too. What artifact would I use for T4 Aurelia? I would use a trash can. But if I really had to pick one, probably Bone Grip. But don't discount the power of the trash can artifact. Just so you know. Yeah, might as well have Skuld tank then. You might as well. At least then you know who the revive is going to. No, it'll still go to Lorelei. Okay, tank Skuld. Yeah, we'll give it a 7. It's not a terrible team. It's just Skuld. It's a little bit too early to have Skuld. Alright, next is Kretafar. I am getting very hungry, actually. I'm going to go for another 30 minutes. So whatever I get to in 30 minutes, I'm done. So let's see what I can do. Wow. Having Phoenix, you built Verthandi. Okay, okay. That's a very interesting choice. And actually a pretty good one. So make sure that Verthandi is tanking. If you've got Phoenix and Verthandi, Verthandi is a better tank. And then Phoenix is in the front, just buffing up damage, and Freya is in the back. This team works. This is actually not bad. We'll give this an... for where it is, I'll give it an 8. Seven and a half? No, 7.5. It's decidedly... I'm not sure. 7.5, 8 is like the range. It's pretty good. Eskval, the new aura, absolutely means you must use 6 heroes. So yes, you cannot use a 3 or 4 unit team. Well, you can. It's just not as good. What was Slick's team? I think it was Phoenix, Skuld, Kurt, Themis, Lorelei, Valkyrie. Which at this point is one of the best you can make. Some variation of that is going to be the best team that most people can make. Your first T4 is Freya and second is Phoenix. That's fine. Alright, so Kretafar will give you a 7.5. I'm not sure on an 8. It could be an 8, but... Nah, we'll give it an 8. I think your hero choices are really good. Xavier, that's pretty normal. It slows down after that. Alright, next is Mikiro. What happened here? Here we go. Mikiro sent a whole ton of pictures. Duck, neither of those. Huh, your Kurt is in the back. Interesting. Interesting choice. Very interesting choice. Very interesting choice of lineup. What do you focus on? Do you use Watchmen? And is this a good setup? Is this a good setup? Yeah, this is a pretty solid setup. You're really, really reliant on this Themis carrying you. And so... I think this works. Duck Dro is not a good T1 either. Hi, Mikiro. So this is you. Man, I bet this team is pretty fun to watch. Drogenus, you know what? That's a good question. I don't believe it makes them immune. I believe they would just have both of them. Where is Dro still good? Dro is right now in an area where she could maybe be a potential counter pick in PvP. But as of right now, her positioning is not that great. She is not a solid choice anymore. Duck, Lorelei is not a good first T1 either. Really the best is going to be Phoenix, Actually, the best is Valkyrie and Freya, pretty much. Planet Trial Expedition Den? No, not really great for any of those. Alright, so what do you focus on? Probably Kurt, so that you can have more damage. Either of these is fine. Do you want a Watchman? You could use a Watchman here, and then... You could use a Watchman here, tank with Phoenix, and then use Watchman to protect Themis Kurt. Dro built for attack? I believe it. I believe it. I would need to see it in action, but I believe the potential of it. But overall, I mean, she's just not that useful. I like this team. I like this team a lot. I think it has good potential. Okay, so we'll give this team an 8.5. Could it be a 9? I don't know. I would have to see it in action. I think it potentially could be a 9, but... We'll give it a 9 for now. Or 8.5 for now. We'll give it an 8.5 for now. Alright, next is gonna be... God, I don't know that you need Watchman. I think he could help, but I don't think he's gonna be, like, super amazing. If you had to remove someone for Watchman, it would be Verthandi. You could also potentially tank Skuld if you really wanted to. Dope. Dope. Okay. Alright. I don't know. I think you might want to focus on finishing Kurt and or Phoenix before you think about Watchmen. Let's say that. Alright, this is going to be Tiger SJ. What is your focus? Looking for Verthandi. Lindbergh has... Oh my gosh. Lindbergh has... Hit rate attack rune. With gift. Don't use gift. You should use Eye of Heaven if you don't have that. Good night, Drogenis. Thanks for stopping in. Wow. Wow, this guy. Holy. Your VIP 7 and your first T4 was Lindbergh? Wow. Tanking Themis, remove Earth? For now, yes. But if you can finish Phoenix, then him. Lindbergh definitely doesn't do good. He's too squishy. And he misses a lot. Alright, so Valkyrie has Ragnarok. Ultima has Star Shards. The Vegvisir has Queen's Crown. Dro has Tears of the Goddess. Skuld has Tears of the Goddess. Man. How did you not get Verthandi, though? Is there a Ragnarok in next week event? Potentially, it could be there in the shop, but unknown. Probably not. I would say probably not. But we have not seen the full shop list. Nathan, probably Freya. Damage is more important. Alright, so you're working on Verthandi. God, I'd rather drop Dro first. Maybe not. At least she has the silence. Man, Dro with Tears of the Goddess just feels so wasted. Xavier, they post them on their Facebook. Alpha Dog Ragnarok is never cheaper than like $150. JSB, you are too late for today's stream, sorry. Maybe next time. I usually try to do these every 2 weeks. Well, if you can get Verthandi, I'm down with making Verthandi. You'd probably like to get Phoenix, Aegina, Freya, Kurt, Lorelei. It's gonna depend on what you've got copies of. I don't think you have any control over it. Freya is probably the easiest, just because she's in the Soul Shop and is in the Advanced Wheel. Honestly, you could already replace Vegvasir with Phoenix right now at 10 stars. Tears of the Goddess, when people got it for as cheap as $20. Let me tell you how many people got it for $20. I mean, probably 10 to 20 people in the world got it for $20. So no, that's... So, no, you're not getting that. ZMax, yes, that's the right channel. That's the right Discord. Like, it took me $200 to buy that Tears of the Goddess. And I could have saved $100 because I got lucky on the very last one. Those odds were not good. They were not good. Okay, so more than 10 to 20 people, but it's like 1% of players got it. So if 1 million people play, then like 10,000 of them, but it was not good. All right, so get Verthandi, get Phoenix. Honestly, I don't know who you're gonna need. I don't know who's gonna have copies. Xavier, team power means nothing. ZMax, I mean, hang around. People answer. If you ask questions in the questions or showcase channel, people help out all the time. It doesn't always have to be me on stream. So this team, oh man. Oh man. Knowing how bad Lindbergh performs, but as an early T4, he might be okay. But you're also not using energy on him. You're using Gift of Creation, so his hit rate is pretty bad. I don't think this is doing that great. I don't think this is doing that great. It shouldn't be. Does it do better than Willie's team? Like, let's say that all they've got is one Detlaf, or two Detlaf, a Detlaf and a Freya. Does this beat that? It might. It might. Lindbergh might be a good early T4. Alright, we'll give it a 5.5. I'm actually giving this higher than maybe it deserves because I do not know what the potential is of this team. I actually have no idea what the potential is here. So I'm going to rate it higher, but please don't disappoint me. But yeah, I was curious how you hit 192 with VIP 7. Okay, next is going to be Vale. Ultima is not a tank at this point, not with T4s. Ultima will die too fast. Who should you build next? Wait for Golden Phoenix. You could make Detlef. Detlef's not a bad choice. Interesting. Is the Watchman skin significant? I don't think so. Let me see what the stats are on it. Isn't it something like 2% HP and 3% damage reduction or something stupid like that? I doubt it's as important as Lorelei's. Yeah, I'd say focus on Detlef. Detlef is trash before T4 anyway. So you're going to want to get him T4, otherwise it doesn't help. How good is this team? This is not bad. Before Lorelei's skin, after Lorelei's skin, they're all the same level. Nobody cares about any of the skins other than Lorelei. Alright, let me take a look here. Watchman's skin is... It is 3% HP, 3% damage reduction, and 3 defense. It's not a game changer. 3 defense is not a game changer. Alright, so this is actually a pretty good team. I'll give this a 7.5. Aegina? Aegina is better, but... Aren't you closer to Detlef? Alright, you know what? Go ahead, make Aegina instead. At least Aegina will be useful, even at 10 stars, more so than Detlef. Jonathan, no. Submissions are closed today. God, they don't even tell you what quest you finished on the board. That's dumb. Alright, so team-wise, I can give this a... What did I say I was going to give it? Give it a 7.5. It's good. It's a good team. Your damage might be a little bit low, but I think it's very solid. It could be 8. I'll give it an 8. Alright, next is Neo. Neo 1992. Detlef is just trash before T4, period. It doesn't matter how many copies he has. Unless he's going to focus on Detlef, it doesn't matter. Why is Skuld tanking? Why is Skuld tanking on this team? On this team, when you have clearly Aegina and Freya would be first ones to die. Why is Skuld tanking? When is Phoenix better than Azathoth? Azathoth's not that useful where he is, I think. He's just kind of there for fun. I think he only just made the Phoenix, because Phoenix is only 250. And so that's why Phoenix has not been leveled. Which I guess would make the most sense. Skuld usually dies first. Well, yeah, if she's in front. So now that you have Phoenix, level up Phoenix and tank with him instead. Who of you probably don't need Watchmen. You probably cannot use Watchmen. Alright, so level up Phoenix, tank with Phoenix, and good to go. The team is not bad. This is a solid 7.5 team. Nathan, take the 280 to 290. Oh, if you prefer, which one would you? Yeah, it looks like the old Unity still stays 7.5, but that means it's easier to go higher by having a off Aura. So if he were to replace Aegina with Kurt, this team would instantly go to... I mean, Nathan, are they both T4? It really depends on who the hero is. I mean, 200 to 220, 200 to 250 is still too low to matter. $200 Miracle Eyes, you got 4 Heaven and 5 Hell. That is below odds. Kurt is next after Phoenix and Skuld. Solid. And then you're done. You don't need to do too much more than that. See, Esquivel, perfect aura is not even perfect. There is no perfect aura. What's up, Teddy? What you looking at? There's a teddy cat staring at nothing. Yeah, Nathan, that Skuld is trash. You're trying to use a 10-star Skuld on a T4 team. The Skuld is useless. Freya is the only one that actually matters there. High Venom. As far as taking Phoenix or Skuld first, probably the Phoenix so that Phoenix can tank better. As long as the Skuld has energy, it's fine. Alright, next is AMS. Teddy, did you see a ghost? That would be pretty funny, actually. What the heck? Yo, this guy is tanking with Medusa. This guy is tanking with Medusa. You have a Verthandi and you're not using her. Wait, what's going on with this? Why? Why? Alright, replace the Lorelei with Verthandi. Put Verthandi second. Put Medusa in the back. Take bench Lorelei until she's 9 stars. When she hits 9, you can replace Detlaf for her. Actually, you know what? You know what? Replace Detlaf for Verthandi now. Lorelei is 9 stars? No, she is not. This is very clearly 8 stars. So... but it doesn't matter. Detlaf is worse. Qatar, there is potential for that. If lowering their speed twice actually makes a difference, then it could work, but it's not going to be as useful as having better heroes. There's like 15 people left. I'm only going to do a couple more. Sorry, guys. Alright, so this guy... oh my god. You know what, Pogi? This is it. This is the one. This is the team that gets like a 4. This is the team that gets like a 4. Wow. This guy is tanking Medusa! Medusa! Darkness, sorry, you just... if you follow the chat, or if you follow the Discord, I tag everybody right before I start. So... because people use that channel regularly, I can't give priority at all. You just gotta be there in the first 20 to 30 minutes. This guy gets the crown, I think. My gosh. We're gonna preemptively... we're gonna give him the L. Pogi, I had to allow it. Like, it actually popped up and said, do you want to allow or deny this message? And I allowed it. Because I ain't censoring no words. Okay, I'm censoring some, but not most of them. Neo... yes. Yes. At this time, if you don't buy the Lorelei skin, you've bought the wrong skin. You definitely bought the wrong skin. Lorelei's skin is just too important. Remember, Lorelei, with full speed, needs the skin to outspeed Freya. She cannot outspeed Freya unless she has the skin. And by having your Lorelei fire before their Freya A, gets slower, B, 30% skill damage reduction. You basically nerfed their Freya. So it's just too important. That skin is just too important. Alright, AMS, congratulations. You likely have the crown because I'm not doing too many more after you. I'm going to do 3 more. No, Lorelei with full speed and the skin beats the fastest Freya with energy. Well, I didn't know about the Lorelei skin either. That's why I ended up having to buy it. Well, thanks to donations, I'm very thankful for that. Okay, Neo Colo. Huh, your Kurt's in back. Is there any particular reason your Kurt is in back? I guess you're hoping to burst them down with Aegina and Freya? I think Kurt in front is a little bit more reliable. Hey, Rui. This is a 7 team. Without Skuld, it's a 7. No, 6.5. I think, I mean, so Pogi, I think the way that we're gonna settle is old Unity is still a 7.5. Lack of Scold instantly down to 6.5. And I think anything after than that is just improvements on it. Because it's not that easy to improve on old Unity. It really isn't. I think you need a significant amount of luck to actually replace old Unity. My team? No, my team is like a 9. Maybe 9.5. I mean, yeah, maybe 9.5. Which is still not even as good as Slick. Would Bold be a 10? He is the same. He would be 9.62. He is beatable. RNG beats everything. And, like, you can craft a team that counters his team. Honestly, at the highest level, everybody can beat everybody as long as you tweak things a little bit. And so it's impossible to have a perfect 10 at this time. Alright, so Neo Colo 6.5, basically just because of no Scold, but I would say put the Kurt in front. Next is Steel Shot. Alright, Steel Shot. Are there more pictures? There are. Did this guy have a T4 shoot? Oops. Was there ever a time when there was a perfect 10? Yes. In the 10-star meta, the double Phoenix, double Mars, Skuld Valkyrie team was a 10. Before Aura change, double Kurt, Skuld, Valkyrie, Lorelei was, or Phoenix Lorelei was pretty much a perfect 10. But not anymore. Not anymore. Things are beatable now. Phoenix ZMax, remember, if you use talents and artifacts to increase people's HP, they won't die that fast. Alright, do you convert Shu to Detlaf? Wait. Shu to Detlaf. And what Heaven T4? Why do you need a Heaven T4? You do not need a Heaven T4, but if you're going to choose one, choose Verthandi. Remember, you don't need to make Unity anymore. As far as converting Shu, definitely convert Shu to Detlaf. Pogi, I'm just rating everybody with Unity with no Skuld as a 6.5. I'm not even going to think about it. The difference is minimal at that point. You go into the decently average team. That's about it. Ty, it depends who the first two are. Who should you focus on? Focus on that Detlaf. After Detlaf, you probably can focus on Lorelei. You don't really need Verthandi. You've got Phoenix. So you can put Verthandi onto the back burner for now. She's not critical yet. She helps, but you'd probably rather have Lorelei. So make Detlaf, then make Lorelei. Or make Lorelei and then make Detlaf. Either way is fine. Christopher, sacrifice Luna. Pogi, there's not that many tiers of improvement on top of Unity, to be honest. You replace the undead for Kurt, you're already at 8, and then where do you go from that? You replace somebody with a second Skuld, you're at 9 pretty much. That's already a lot of... There's not that many tiers of improvements over Unity if you think about it. You only replace 2, maybe 3 heroes, and you're at top tier. Like if you've got Skulled Phoenix Valkyrie, you add on Kurt, or you would have Skulled Phoenix Valkyrie lore. There's only two. There's only room for two more heroes. If both of them are Kurt, I mean, that's it. You're done. How can you make that many tiers out of two heroes? Jojo, submission ended a long time ago. Sorry. All right, so Steel Shot gets. I'll give you a 7. If you were going to add a third Kurt, you'd probably just use a Themis. Put Themis in instead. Alright, next is Lindbergh. This should be the last... Oh, did I give him a 3? Whoops, my bad. My bad. He said... Esquivel said third Kurt, so I wrote a 3. My bad. Um... Mikuro, you can food shoot, but I would keep Dro. So the general consensus for this team is delete your account and start over. How low can I go? How low can I go without going out of reasonable range? Who does Werewolf hit? Werewolf hits the person with the lowest HP, right? Hold on, I'm gonna check that. Werewolf hits the person with the lowest HP. That means that this werewolf is never even gonna hit their T4. Alright, did anybody ever hear of the movie Blue Chips? Pogi, please tell me you've heard of the movie Blue Chips. That was a movie with Shaq. And he was trying to be a basketball player in some no-name African town. And basically they were trying to get him out of that town. And his whole thing was, they tried to make him take the SATs. And they said... You get 200 points, or no, 400 points if you spell your name right on the SATs. And he didn't do that. 400 was the minimum, and he went lower than that. That's what I want to do to this team. Hi, Krista and Proyecto. That's what I want to give to this team. This is what I'm gonna give him. Error, score not found. I actually, Chimera, Edison is actually the second best pet. I I I just I can't. I don't know what else I can do. I a 404? Okay. 0.404. So he's trolling. He has to be trolling. Can someone clip that Blue Chips reference? Someone please clip that. I feel like that's a reference that should not be lost in the annals of time. Maybe I can do it later. Krista, you can ask any question, but if it is outside the realm of what I can answer, I don't have to answer. No, Lindbergh has been on the stream before. I believe he has also taken the crown before. Holy cow. Holy cow. I am blown away by that. Okay. Lindbergh gets a 0.404 and the L. Should we stop Werewolf T4 is not good. His bonus damage requires the enemy to be under 30% HP. So he doesn't even do like good damage. All right, well, Lindbergh, congratulations. You have taken the crown today. Mr. Jahan, you are the last one. I don't remember his previous, but I remember it was pretty bad. Holy cow. I don't think it was that bad. Unknown, you're next? Okay. If you're here, then I'll do it. Alright. Oh, wow. Wow. Please, someone clip that reference. Okay, let's see here. You shouldn't have made either of these if you weren't going to finish them to T4. It's kind of weak to have multiple heroes at T2, T3 at this point. But your first two are actually really good, so I guess it's okay. It's not ideal, but it's not the worst. Does this Ultima matter? The clip button is... I don't know how to do it on mobile. Hold on. Does Ultima even have this... When below 15... Okay, it's 15.5%. And reduce defense by 5. I guess it helps. Okay. Okay. You know what? This is not a bad team. Alright, Randy, are you newbie? Alright, so this is actually not a bad team. We can give this a 7.5. I feel like your choices are good here. Ultima's not going to fire, but if Ultima goes below 50% and dies, I believe it still triggers. Pogi, actually, can you confirm that? If Ultima gets one shot, does the passive trigger? EJ, it's fine, but I mean that's fine. It's just that there are better heroes than Verthandi. So if you've managed to make better heroes, then she would be the first one to go. Esquivel, if you clipped it, thank you very much. It gets shared to the channel, so it'll stay there. But oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, so this is a 7.5. I think you're fine. You want to make Valkyrie next? Okay, Valkyrie's good. You guys are not letting me finish, but that's fine. I haven't done this in a while anyway. Okay. So yeah, make Valkyrie, finish Valkyrie, and go from there. I was gonna suggest using Dro in place of Ultima because she also brings you the 50% silence, but this is fine too. I believe either option is perfectly fine. This one gives you more offense, whereas you still have the Aegina's silence bust to try and burst their bubbles and stuff like that. Okay. We'll drop you to 7 for having a T2 Lorelei alongside a T3 Valkyrie. That's a fair point. So we will deduct points for... Links are not allowed on chat, unfortunately, but if you can share it on the Discord, I will move it. I will post it to YouTube after. Moosh. Oh my god. Well, we'll see. No, Ultima hitting 50% adds 15.5% attack to your entire team and reduces their defense by 5. The active skill increases the backline's speed, which is not going to happen and is not that critical for this team. Alright, so that is Mr. Jahan. That's fine. It's a solid start. I Am Unknown is next. Alright. What the heck? Moosh, are you Tatsu? Because if you're not Tatsu, I will end after newbie. Is Ultima better than Dro at 5? Not necessarily. The thing is, Dro gives silence at 50%. But so does Aegina, so he's already got it. Heinzer, it should work in general. General should take link. Oh, no. Post it in Showcase. Post it in Showcase. I forgot. Dark Ether added some rules to that. Alright, let's see here. Oh, Dro 5 stars only. But he had a 9-star Dro. Yeah, he had a 9-star Dro, which is the point. But he had a 9-star Dro, a 9-star Aegina, and a 5-star Ultima. Galaxy Axle, I will not pull tomorrow. I gotta wait until the last day, otherwise I lose all of the fusing. So I think having 1 sacrifice plus 1 silence burst is better. You're gonna move Freya. You could replace Freya with Mulan. That's probably fine. Good night, Esquivel. Thanks for stopping in. Remember, guys, to do the pre-idling. Lado, honestly, as long as your tank's in front, the rest of it's not that important. Okay, let me see here. So swap Freya and Mulan. There's nothing wrong with this team. It's not strong, it's not weak. Nathan, that silence is way more critical than you give it credit for. If it lands at a point where it stops one of their top heroes from firing, it can win you the game. It's not reliable, but if nothing else, it can buy you a turn to survive. And you can easily turn it around after that. Totally on that team, yes. If it stops them from firing and then Freya fires and petrifies them, well, yes, that's why I'm saying keep Ultima. Because he has a Gina, I said keep Ultima instead of Dro. I said that. Dro is not that good, no. But having 2 silence bursts also can make a difference as well. If Dro hits 50% on a different turn than Aegina does, that's 2 times that they get silenced. So there is potential. It's just not as better. I said he can. Because if you can silence them twice, that will give you really all the time you need to make a big comeback. It potentially can be huge. Like, think about that. Think about that. First turn, Dro hits 50%, your Kurt gets silenced. You use Skuld, you cleanse it, and then somebody else takes Aegina to 50%, silences your Kurt again. Your Kurt doesn't get to fire, their Freya takes out your team. It happens. It absolutely happens. Heinzer, the Skuld is a waste of space. Alright, so as a score, six, nothing special. 5, decidedly average. Yeah, okay. No major higher tier heroes. 5, decidedly average. Niku, why would you want the second Phoenix? Alright, we'll do newbie next. Okay, that's very washed out. Yikes, why Chesia? Niku, you do know that second Phoenix doesn't buff anymore, right? I suggest you read Phoenix's skills. Double Phoenix no longer works. Wukong, you are too late for submission. I'm assuming these Khalils are for use in honor. You can see... Oh, you can't see it, but... You can see his fingers, actually. I can't show it on here, but you can see his fingers. So he took a picture of his phone. I don't know why you have all these Khalils at 100. This team, I would say, gets a good 6. Six, maybe 6.5. 6, I'm gonna say. I feel like the damage is lacking. Actually, it's not terrible. Shoot can stage a comeback. I'll give it a 6.5. We'll say 6.5. It has potential. Like, it can probably do some surprising things. But Chesia was a very bad choice here. Maybe not. You're working with bleed. Wounds, the Khalil does need to be level 100 in order to activate his last passive. And he must be 6 stars level 100. But you don't need 4 of them. Unless he's using these plus something else for honor. If he's using 4 Khalils in honor, then man, I salute your dedication. Khalid, description is up here. It's also in the video description as a link to the Discord. Unfortunately, team submissions are closed. Yeah, this team is not bad, but I feel like it's strong, but it's not reliable. The Skuld is the biggest issue. I think it's a fair team, but I'm gonna give it 6.5 just because it will falter against mediocre teams on the same strength with Skuld or Valkyrie. Maybe even Watchman. No idea. Niku, the back buff also doesn't work. The one in the back only gets 70% extra damage to burn. He does not offer anything extra to your team. Alright, Tatsu will be the last one. A viable 9.5 with no Phoenix? Yes, absolutely. Pogi is able to do it. If you're using like Ultima with Bale, Skuld, Kurt, Themis, something, you can do it without Phoenix, but it will require very special tuning to your team. Alright. Tatsu, you are the last one. Wow, his only T4 is Luna? Okay. How viable is Luna one-on-one? I feel like her damage is not enough. I know it's better than Werewolf, but is this the point where I would give this team like a 3, or do I give it a 1? I think offense one-on-one, she's going to struggle a lot. Niku, the front one only gets the front buff, which is plus the front one gives your whole team extra 30% off to burning enemies, and the back one only gets 70% to burning enemies. So the back one will have both buffs, but Phoenix is not a damage dealer. Why would you use a Phoenix in the back for damage when you can literally use any of the bigger heroes? Why wouldn't you put like a Valkyrie there? Skuld best front or back? Doesn't matter. I don't think Luna's offense is good enough for this. I'm going to give this a 3. I just don't think Luna's damage stands up to being your sole carry. Good night, Qatar Hero. I just don't think that it works. Now, you can easily prove me wrong. I don't mind being proven wrong, but I just don't think that in this case that applies. Okay, that'll be all for me tonight. It's good that we were able... What were his other options? Could have been Verthandi. I think Luna gets crit rate when enemies die. That's not really major. Julius, I'm not taking... Wait, 3 off from finishing? 1... Oh, you're right! You're right. Okay, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's stay on and we'll do the last 3. We'll get to every single one that's submitted today. Let's do it. Ninja Sun. Let's do it. I'm sorry, guys. If people already left, so be it. Tatsu, no. Lindbergh took the crown in a landslide. Landslide. Okay, Ninja Sun. Let's go very quickly. This team gets a 6.5. It's a good team. It's a solid team, but lack of Skuld, lack of... actually, with Valkyrie, we'll give it a 7. You've got good tank, good damage. I think you're fine. Your focus is... Freya. Your focus is Freya. Or... yeah. Okay. Cosmo Wolf. These will be hyper fast. Unless I can't spell, in which case they're very slow. This is a 7 too, actually. This is 7. I'm gonna say that teams that are like this point, if you're missing the major heroes, you lose points, but Proyecto, this is you. You need Skuld, but you could work on Kurt. Monkey King actually is not a... no, you don't want Monkey King. I would not food Chesia. Yeah, you need Skuld. Like, the only thing that you need is Skuld. There is no other way that you could take this team that would be helpful to you at this time. You can make Lorelei while you're waiting for Skuld, but you need Skuld. And Phoenix needs to be on the front line. Otherwise, you do not get the 30% damage bonus. This is the same mistake that NDG made. Pogi, you saw that? We took a point away from NDG because he doesn't know how to play Taptap. That was pretty funny. Alright, back Phoenix, minus... no, we'll give him a 6.5. Convert Verth to Skuld? No, I would keep Verthandi. Verthandi is too good for honor. Okay, 6. Good night, Zmax. Thanks for stopping in. Taptap Jedi, you are the last one. Which event offers Skuld as a reward? Completely random. Actually, next week we'll have a Skuld. If you're lucky enough to get it in the shop. Alright, Taptap Jedi. Why do you have so many T2, T3? Why? Why are you half building all of these heroes? Like, this is so wasted. This is so wasted. Like, this team, if they were all T4, I could give this team an 8.5. Maybe a 9. But because of all this, you lose points pretty badly. So we're going to say 8. Alfonso, only keys. So we'll give you an 8 because really, this is horrible. Well, when you get them to T4, your score goes up a lot, but you lose a lot of points for this. Like, if they were all T4, this would be a 9. Easily a 9. Alright, guys. Now we are done. What? WTF? You should use speed. But you can also use attack because she doesn't need the speed as much as a solo tank. Yeah, if Freya was Lorelei, it'd be a 9.5. But you have a Freya, you do not have a Lorelei. So if this is all T4, it's a 9. Undefeated on your server doesn't mean anything unless you're fighting everybody else at the same type of team as yours. If you're the biggest whale on your server, it's not even close to a comparison. Or if you've got a server of dumb people that make teams with single T4 Lindberghs, sorry, I didn't say that, then yeah, it's not really, it doesn't really say anything. You come to my server, I'm sorry, you're going to be like 10th. Worse than 10th. So that's just how it works. You are strong against your opponents, but not in general. All right. Good night, guys. Please remember pre-idling. Remember to stop logging in 8 to 12 hours before the next reset. Reset is in 18 hours. So in the next 10 hours, finish up all of your dailies and do everything. Update my Olivia picture. No. Well, if you look here, it's the background. This one is it, but I don't know where to put it yet. Maybe I'll make it the background on the left side. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I'll make it the faded background on the left side instead of the tap background. That sounds better to me. I can't update the one next to my face. Like, T4 Olivia is as good as it gets. I'll think about it. Alright. Good night, guys. I will see you next time. Tomorrow is community keys. So if you want to pull keys on stream, let me know on Discord, and we will have a whole bunch of people pulling for Watchmen. Good night, guys, and see